Today we're going to talk about the best introductory book to chess, and it is the aptly named Everyone's First Chess Workbook. And I like this a lot. We've been using it in the Dojo training program for years, and I've been able to witness several players using the book to help them progress up the ladder. My daughter did the book, or at least some of it, and my 10-year-old friend worked through it as well. So I've been able to see it in real life as well. Some of the things I really like about it is we don't start off with like fancy stuff. We're talking at the beginning, the first 50 problems about how do you not hang your stuff? How do you take the free stuff? And this is ultimately the most important skill you're going to need all the way up until 1,000 or 1250chess.com. Right? I think it's 1450 Lichess. So to get to that level, you really just need to not hang stuff and take the free stuff for an entire game. That is what is going to be needed. Now, it might sound easy, but to hold that over a whole game is difficult. And I've done a lot of different analyses of players under 1,000 of their games, and that is what I see again and again. The turning point happens when somebody hangs a piece. So I was very thankful for the book that the first 50 problems are just that basic business. And I'm going to show a couple examples of how that works. But what I want to stress first is that the book then gets into what we could think of as slightly more complicated chapters, such as checkmates in 1, later checkmates in 2, and then the various terms of tactics like pin, skewer, double attack, all this stuff. Great. But the thing that I've seen in the players who've been graduating in the dojo is really what happens when you learn those more advanced tactics. For example, trying to do a mate in 2, is you then really have to visualize all the squares and say, okay, what is controlled by what? And that ability of square visualization really comes back to the fundamental, which is how am I going to prevent myself from losing stuff, and how am I going to take the free pieces when it happens, right? So that's the key skill ultimately that you're getting, even when it starts getting more fancy, right? So the more convoluted it becomes, right? It's just how can I keep that visualization going? So let me put it this way. When I look at people who make it to 1,000 or 1250chess.com, we're seeing people who don't necessarily know tactics, but they're not hanging stuff anymore. Okay, let me show an example here just from the book. I love this, the way the book starts off. We're just going to get a bunch of examples like this one, where we're being asked to see that the rook is hanging. Very simple, very important. The book then progresses, and we can see here, we can call this a 2-mover, and we see, oh yeah, hanging, winning a piece. And that is this key skill that will take you to 1,000 and 1250. So I'm sure there's other introductory books out there. I like this one the best. I also like that it's problem-based, right? There's a brief explanation of what we're talking about, and then you have to figure it out. And that process of you figuring it out is going to get you that mental grip on the board. So there it is, Everyone's First Chess Workbook.